What's up, unicorns? Welcome back to the music room. Today we're going to be learning how to play Hot Cross Buns. If you are one of my unicorns, then you can head to your Google Drive and look in the level 1 bundle. Hot Cross Buns is the first song that is in there. If you are not one of my personal unicorns, then I will be sure to link a PDF file below of how to read the music in not only standard notation, but also in tab. It's very important for a musician to be able to read both, just to make sure that you're well-rounded and that you're not limited by one way of reading or the other. A well-rounded musician, a good musician, can do all the things. The first thing I want you to be sure of is that your instrument is tuned G, C, E, A, and that the fingernails of your left hand are trimmed. Today we're going to be using the outer strings. We're going to be using string number 4, which is the G string, and we're also going to be using string number 1, which is on the very bottom here of our instrument, which is the A string. We're also going to be using our middle finger in the 2nd fret of the A string. So take a look at what that looks like up close. In your music, you're going to see both ways, standard notation as well as the music written in tab. Just as a reminder, when you see it in standard notation, you have the benefit of seeing what the rhythm is. When it's written in tab, you don't. So it's always helpful to have both so that you really have a good idea of what's happening. Sometimes, although if you know the song, you already know how it goes and you have a general idea of how the rhythm is, but you like to be precise. So, in your standard notation, we start with half notes. A half note receives 2 beats, and then we have in measure 2 a whole note. A whole note receives 4 beats. Don't rush it. Hot Cross Buns can be played fast. It can also be played slow. My recommendation is to start, play slow. You can get faster the more confident you get, but not until you are comfortable with where your fingers are headed. Let's begin on fret number 2 of the A string. This is the sound that it should make. In standard notation, we're playing a B. We're going to be playing 2 open. Okay, so we're doing a B and then an A. The next note is a G. Now, if you are super clever, I'm sure you figured out already there are 2 different ways that we can get to that G. The first obvious and also easiest way to get to that G is by using our thumb up here on string number 4, which I've already told you we're going to use today. So here's your A on the bottom, string number 1, and here's your G, which is on the top, string number 4. Start here on the A string with your 2nd finger in the 2nd fret for a B. Now lift your 2nd finger so that it is an open A. And now we're going to go to the G, which is up here on string number 4. There's another way that we could get to G. It's a little bit more advanced. So at the end of the video, if you are looking for a challenge, stick around, I'll show you how to do that. For right now though, let's just stick with string number 4, the G string, and string number 1, the A string. What we're going to do right now is we're going to play the notes B, A, G. So right now what we're going to do is play the A string with the 2nd fret, which is a B. We're going to lift our middle finger to make it an A again. And then we're going to lift our thumb all the way back up to string number 4 for a G. Let's do that together. Remember, a half note gets 2 beats, a whole note gets 4. 1, 2, ready, here we go. B, A, G, 2, 3, 4. Let's try that again. 1, 2, ready, counting. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you look at your music, you'll notice that measure 1 and 2 are actually repeated in measures 3 and 4. So everything we just did, do it again, but repeat it. Let's begin. Start on your 2nd finger, 2nd fret of the A string, which is also the note B. 1, 2, ready, play. B, A, G, 2, 3, 4. B, A, G, 2, 3, 4. If you are having a tough time going from the G, string 4, to the B, think about what your left hand fingers are doing. Are they hanging out in space, just kind of doing nothing? Or are they kind of creeping over? I always recommend that your fingers should be creeping over the string and the fret number that they're going to be headed towards. For example, I know as soon as I lift my second finger, I can't lift it too far away because eventually I'm coming back to it. So I don't want it to stray really far away because then it's going to be lazy coming back and I'll miss it. So when I play B, A, I'm not going to lift it and go like that. I'm going to keep it kind of close, not touching of course because that will mute the string, but I'm going to keep it kind of close. Now take a look, my finger has not really gone very far so that when it's time to go back, my thumb is moving back to string 1, my second finger's going down. That has to happen at the same time. Make sure your fingers are kind of following your own directions here and that they're doing that at the same time. Go slow. It's not supposed to happen super quick. Take your time. Let's try from the beginning. Here we go. 1, 2, start on B. B, A, G, 2, back to B. Well done, everyone. Let's take a look at the next measure of our music. We are staying put on the G string. So you're going to see 4 quarter notes. Quarter note gets 1 beat. We're going to see 4 quarter notes on the G string, and you're going to see the number 0 in tab written there, which means it's an open string. So we're just staying on string 4 and playing it 4 times. Please make sure that you don't speed up here. It's easy to speed up on an easy section of music. We're all guilty of it, but what you're ending up doing though is making the whole song kind of fall apart because you just took advantage of an easy section so that you're going fast through it because you're really confident with it, but then you're going to get to the hard part and go, I have to slow down again. And then it's not going to sound like Hot Cross Buns anymore. It's going to just sound terrible. So don't do that. Let's start at that measure where it's 4 quarter note G's. But don't forget, just like we always do, we're headed somewhere new. So always be looking in advance where we're headed. In the music, we're starting at our 4 quarter note G's, but if you look at the next measure, we're moving down to string number 1, which is the A string, and we're going to play 4 quarter note A's there. Unicorns, please make sure with 8 quarter notes of pretty easy playing that you don't go too fast. Here we go. Let's start on G. 1, 2, ready, play. Move to A. Let's try it again, make sure we really have it. 1, 2, ready, play. G, 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 G. Nicely done, unicorns. Now, take a look at the last 2 measures of the song. Incredible, but it's exactly the same as the first 2 measures of the song. So you're going back again to do B, A, G. Here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I want you to start at the 4 quarter note G's, then go to your A's, and then play the last 2 measures of the song. So we're kind of starting in the middle. Here we go, starting on your open G. 1, 2, ready, play. G, 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 A, 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 A. Get ready for B. B, A, G. Unicorns, I think you're doing a really great job. I know I can't hear you, but I know you're doing a good job. Let's try it from the very beginning and play the entire way through. I am not going to be calling out letters, so hopefully you're feeling confident. If not, if you're at a point where you're still feeling a little anxious about it, just press pause, Try it a few times on your own, and then join me. We're going to do a playthrough. Here we go. 2nd fret of the A string, string number 1. We're playing the note B. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. How did you do, unicorns? Did you get to the end? Are you feeling pretty good? Are you looking for an extra challenge? Here's an extra challenge that you can use. Now, this is not written in your tab, so be looking and listening really, really carefully. Another way that you can play the G is by putting your 3rd finger, 1, 2, 3, on the 3rd fret of the E string. I know, hold on, think back to what we already know. Here's G, we don't need that one anymore. Here's C, we don't need that one anymore. Here's E, and here is A. So string number 1 is A, string number 2 is E, and that's what we're going to be using. So we're going to start with B like we normally would in the 2nd fret for the A string, making it a B. Then doing an open A, but wait, there's more. Now we're going to put our 3rd finger in the 3rd fret of the E string. It's still the same note, especially if your instrument is in tune. Now, that's going to take a little bit of practice, and I want you to do that on your own. It should sound like this. 2, open, 3. The hardest part, unicorns, is making sure that your thumb goes to the correct string. I make that mistake all of the time because I'm not paying attention. Slow down, pay attention, and really, really watch what your thumb is doing. Don't sacrifice your posture, though, to see what's going on. You don't need a bird's eye view of your instrument. Just look down. I can very easily see what string my thumb is moving to just by looking down. I don't want to stay in that position though, because 1, it's really not very good for your neck and your back, and 2, it's kind of creating a really bad habit, so don't fall into that. This is what the song should sound like when you're using that alternative G. I hope everybody had a great time learning Hot Cross Buns today. Stay tuned for more tutorials as we make our way through the level 1 bundle, especially if you're a unicorn of mine. I hope everybody has a magical week, and I will see you next time. Bye!